Welcome to our channel. In this video, we are going to talk about how to plan your backpacking experience around the world. So before starting, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for future updates. Whether you're going on an overnight excursion or a multi-week adventure, learning how to plan and prepare for your backpacking trip can pay you big time. Adventures, by definition, are unpredictable. Careful planning, on the other hand, is the key to a safer and more enjoyable hiking experience. Hikers with a lot of experience know that the adage, "failing to plan is intending to fail," is entirely true. In its most basic form, planning entails collecting your belongings and going away with no predetermined path or destination in mind. This is something you can do in locations you're familiar with, especially if the weather threatens to derail any route plans you've established. You can do it even if you've never been to the area before, especially if you enjoy the unexpected. Evaluate your experience, skills, and knowledge. What are your goals? Choose reasonable objectives and postpone the more ambitious initiatives for when you have the experience and fitness to complete them. It's a good idea to do a few shorter excursions, such as day hikes or 2-day hikes, to assess your fitness, hiking boots, gear, particularly your rain jacket, sleeping bag, pad, and shelter, and hiking buddies before embarking on a lengthy hike, if any. A pair of ill-fitting boots or poor physical condition can easily cut short a long journey. Choosing a vacation that is suited for your ability level is the first step in planning. People frequently find themselves in problems because they underestimate the difficulty of their route or exaggerate their talents. Keep in mind that men and women are different in many respects, including their perceptions of the world. It's time to decide on the group size after you've assessed your experience, abilities, and expertise. Group size. Solo or with others. In general, there is a significant difference between hiking alone and hiking in a group. Your group size may also vary greatly, which can affect a variety of factors. Additionally, choosing the perfect travel companions can make your trip much more efficient and pleasurable. When hiking in a group, there are a few things to keep in mind. Let's start with the most critical aspect: your attitude toward people. Keep a positive attitude, be helpful, and keep an eye on the person behind you, especially when gathering branches. It's critical to be someone you'd like to go hiking with. If you opt to go alone, choose a buddy who has more backpacking experience than you. This can help you improve your route-finding skills and avoid common pitfalls. It's simple to form a bond with your soulmate if you both enjoy traveling and are physically fit. However, it becomes more difficult if your physical preparation levels differ or if you have distinct goals. Select an area. With the aid of the internet, guidebooks, maps, magazine articles, outdoor websites, hiking blogs, trekking agencies, local excursion organizations, and guides and outfitters, you may accomplish this. Of course, you must first pick where you want to begin and end. The majority of people have their tastes depending on the landscape, wonderful stories they've read or heard, and even some breathtaking sights and photos. Pull out the guidebooks and choose a trail once you've decided on your hiking partners or whether you'll be hiking alone. Better guidebooks will include time estimates, elevation gain and loss, and warnings about less obvious risks in addition to trail descriptions. This way, you'll obtain some useful background knowledge. If you're traveling to a less traveled area, you might have to rely on internet blogs or topographic maps for this information. A Google web search is a fantastic place to start. You can get up-to-date information from land managers, fellow hikers, the internet, or state, local organizations and institutions once you've chosen an area. Obtain up-to-date information. Attempt to gather the information that will assist you in organizing your hike. The knowledge you'll need is mostly focused on a few key points, such as average temperatures and weather. Prevailing weather patterns for your destination should be part of your study. As previously said, you can review historical temperature data and make decisions based on it. Start checking the weather on the internet as your trip date approaches. Attempt to obtain the most accurate and thorough weather forecasts possible. Daylight. What is your estimate for the number of hours of daylight? You'll need lighting, a headlamp or a flashlight, and warmer clothing if you'll be hiking at night. There is ample daylight on summer vacations to allow for up to 14 to 16 hours of hiking per day. Unless you're going on a night hike, you'll just need a low-powered headlamp, flashlight for camp chores. Sun exposure. Sunburn is easier to avoid than it is to treat. Keep in mind that direct sun radiation, especially between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., can be extremely harmful. The amount of solar exposure is determined by several elements, including cloud cover, vegetation, elevation, surface reflectance, and the sun's power. These details can be found in a variety of places. Terrain, including elevation gain and loss. When it comes to selecting appropriate footwear for your vacation, the terrain is one of the most crucial considerations. You can be cautious and get hard-wearing hiking or backpacking footwear for tough and rocky terrain, particularly if you're going uphill. In comparison to light low-cut shoes like trail running shoes or regular hiking shoes, they provide better ankle support, control, and stability. They're too hefty, though, and must be broken in before your journey. Else, they'll ruin your adventure. Estimates of time. If you haven't done any mountain climbing before, you'll be startled to learn that hiking upwards takes significantly longer than hiking on flat ground. However, walking in the snow is more difficult and time-consuming than hiking in the summer. When planning and predicting your timing, details like these must be taken into account. Hiking hazards. Do your homework and make sure you're aware of any potential dangers you might face on your journey. Remember that planning for a disaster does not guarantee that one will not occur. However, you will have a much greater chance of dealing with practically any extreme circumstance you may experience on the path if you do so. If you're new to the outdoors, start by learning the necessities for first-time travelers. The outdoors is not as hazardous as sensationalist media portrays it to stoke dread of the unknown. Vegetation. When most travelers plan their trip, it is often one of the last things they consider. Don't be fooled by this fact. Hiking in an arid area with a few cactuses and crossing deep woodlands, with thorn plants, or grassy fields is not the same. Check topo maps, evaluate satellite images, and look up photographs and descriptions online for information on vegetation density and varieties. Availability of water. On every walk, you should be aware of the location of water sources and the expected state of the water. One of the most crucial things to consider when trekking in a new area is the availability of water. One of the most important factors to consider while preparing for your hiking excursion is having enough drinking water. Some areas have typically reliable water sources, whereas others have multiple water sources that dry up during the parched summer months. Precipitation. The amount and frequency of precipitation you can expect throughout your trip will have an impact on your footwear, clothes, shelter, materials you employ, and water availability. Lightweight trail running shoes are preferred to waterproof boots in prolonged rainy weather because 1. Boots will not protect your feet from becoming wet, and 2. Running shoes are breathable and will dry much faster than boots. Plan routes. Beginners should adhere to known paths or routes and minimize their off-trail hiking into the bush. They should also concentrate their efforts on trails that are easy to moderate. They can always do more harder hikes after they have gained enough experience. Backpackers with more experience have more alternatives when it comes to the difficulty of their journeys. They should consider the weather and environmental circumstances, as well as their preferences when planning their journey. So, how do you map out your route? To begin, determine your starting point. Before you head off, study the map carefully and note some landmarks to keep track of your progress. Then, carefully outline your desired path, noting important landmarks along the way. Hiking with a map in a readily accessible pocket to peruse if necessary is a smart idea. So that's it for today. What do you think of our video? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and would like to hear more from us, please subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications before you go. Thank you so much for watching us.